Now that we've pared down to this minimal lifestyle, we've noticed that there are a lot of things that we don't need to purchase or buy anymore.
We've definitely changed our shopping habits, so we thought we would share the things that we no longer buy.
One thing that we haven't done for months since moving out is going to Costco. So we're not really buying, well, we haven't bought anything in bulk.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing about Costco and places like that is that you end up buying stuff not only in bulk that is too big to keep, but you also end up buying stuff that is like you totally don't even need and you didn't go there for it. So you see something like a sweatshirt or whatever and you end up buying it. So we're just not even going in.
Another thing we've purchased less of is clothing.
Yeah, significantly less. We're buying really only the clothes that we need. We're buying more neutral clothing. We're not buying like logo t-shirts that are going to be, well, obviously since we're videoing, now you guys are going to go look through all of our videos and see if we're wearing the same clothes all the time. But I can promise you we're going to be wearing the same clothes often. In a van, you can't store a ton of clothes. So it's going to be, like we have like one black t-shirt, one white t-shirt, one
blue t-shirt, a couple pairs of shorts,
yeah,
and not 10 swimsuits.
Yeah, so it'll just actually be much less clothing, just the stuff that we need. One of the things that we stopped buying are multiple brands of toiletries. Like we're using gentle dish soap that we can use for our hands instead of having hand soap and dish soap. I have one face wash, one moisturizer. We share a moisturizer. We use a Vino, in case you guys want to know.
It's good.
For body lotion or hands. We are using for our toothbrush, we actually have the electric toothbrush and we just have two separate heads. We use the same toothpaste. We use, do you guys even know about the pink tax where it's like if you've got men's deodorant, women's deodorant, not that we're using the same deodorant, but if you have women's products, like let's say women's razors or whatever, if you can switch to gender neutral things, it's actually cheaper. The pink tax is just the cost that women pay extra on items that are branded as female.
Another thing we've scaled down on that we don't buy anymore are condiments like curry or multiple bottles of hot sauce.
Things that we just aren't cooking all the time. Do you think that's inaccurate? So if we don't use it all the time, like salt, or we use actually dill quite a bit, so that's a good one, but there are certain spices that we just use only once in a blue moon. Those are goners.
They're gone.
We're not buying sale items that are out of season. If something goes on sale and it is not something that we need right now, basically we're not buying anything we don't need right now. If we don't need it, we're not buying it. It doesn't matter how cheap it is.
Or
even if it's for free.
Yeah.
I know that sounds insane, but once you go pack up your house and you realize how many things that you packed away that you got for free, like promotional items or things that you thought you'd use, and they just end up cluttering your life. And the whole point of this is to declutter one-use items. So in clothing, it would be like a 4th of July t-shirt. No more of those. It would be better to either have a blue t-shirt or a red t-shirt that we might use other times during the year or other times during every single week. Otherwise, it just really should not live with us if we're not going to use it again for a year. Anything that is a one-use appliance it's just not things that we're going to be buying anymore. So we have even things that we use regularly. If it's just one use, it's really hard to justify having it in our van with us. One of those things is our egg cooker that we use all the time, and it's actually kind of compact, but in a van, it's just going to take up so much space in the drawer. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it's going to take up a lot of room.
Like no toaster, even if you use a toaster every single day, that is just a huge space thing that you can't do.
Another thing that we're not getting anymore is frozen food.
Yeah, this is actually a sad one, but I love frozen food and microwave food. Just not that I love necessarily how it tastes, but I love how easy it is. But we just will not have freezer space for that.
Yeah, we won't have any.
And we won't have a microwave either because we won't have power for that. We aren't buying any more things that don't need to be replaced. Things like a new iPhone. If our iPhone works and there's no majorly significant reason that we need a new iPhone, we're not getting a new iPhone. And that obviously is going to save us a ton of money, but it also really saves you a bunch of waste, because once you buy a new thing that you don't need to replace, then you have to
get rid of it. It's bad for the environment.
You either have to get rid of it, and you guys right, it is bad for the environment, or you have to put it somewhere or give it to somebody or do something with it. It either takes up space. There's just no reason to buy excessively. It's kind of something that I started a while ago with fast fashion stuff. I tried to not buy too many clothes or things that I don't need to replace, just because it's not good for our world. And it's definitely not good for the closet. It's not minimal at all.
We're also not buying a lot of expensive things that aren't necessary, like jewelry.
I love how he looks at me. I'm not like big on the jewelry thing, but we definitely don't want to keep stuff with us in the van that is expensive, that we're going to be sad if it gets lost.
Or stolen.
Yeah, if we don't 100% need it. So, no expensive purses, none of that stuff. So robbers, this is for you. Don't break into our van, because you're not going to find a big payload.
We're also not getting any big items like a stand-up paddleboard that we definitely won't have room for in the van.
We're not taking up any new activities that are going to just take tons of space. We just don't have the space, so we're kind of sticking with small versions. That also goes to souvenirs too. Things, if we're traveling, we're not adding a bunch of souvenirs from places, and if we are adding a souvenir, it's going to be teeny tiny, like a patch or a sticker, or it might be something that we really need that just happens to come from that place. That's the best kind of souvenir anyway.
Yeah, something edible is probably more in line.
Well, even, I don't know, like a blanket if you really need a new blanket, or I was looking for a really long time when we would travel for a spoon drip, like when you're cooking, to, you know, the spoon rest. And I never found one that I liked. If you guys are not subscribed, please subscribe. If you liked anything about this video, give us a big old thumbs up. We hope to see you back.
All right, see you later. Here's some trees. This is what it looks like in fall in California.
Not really the East Coast fall foliage, but a little color here and there. We have a little fall foliage that we picked up along the way. So we voted, we've got fall foliage. We're just experiencing the season. We love oatmeal, and we eat ours a little bit differently. Guy likes it with cinnamon, and I like to either throw in fresh fruit or I throw in some frozen fruit that I have. Then my mom does this all the time. She takes like apples and pears and stuff, and she just cooks them with a little bit of water and mashes them up with the immersion blender, but just in a rough way. And this is the perfect addition to the oatmeal. Okay, so this is Guy's oatmeal. It's perfect because he just walked in. And I like putting this in, especially when it's from the refrigerator, because his oatmeal, it's too hot for him. And this way it's kind of all mixed up with apples and cinnamon. Okay, babe, here you go. It still might be too hot.
Oh, that looks really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It smells really good.
It is delish, I'm sure. And here's mine. How's yours, babes?
Mine is so yummy.
Okay, good. Yay.